Good morning, crafters. This is Kathy Hansen, and today I'm going to show you how to make these sweet little notebooks out of your junk designer paper. All of the materials I'm using are from Stampin' Up, and they used to make these 6x6, well, they still do, but this particular one I'm using is a long retired 6x6 inch designer series paper pack, and it had all these cute little papers in it. So I decided I needed to make some little journals. These journals are really fun. This is 6 inches tall by 4.5 inches wide, and then there was a scrap left over when I made a green one, so I made one that's 4.5 inches by 4.5 inches. I put bling on these ones, but I actually kind of make these and I drag them in and out of my purse all the time, so I wouldn't put bling on one that I was going to be doing that with. As a matter of fact, I went on a crafters retreat this past weekend and I had made this one. It has all kinds of notes in it. I put my list of what to take with me. I put the recipe for the dish that I was making in there. And toward the end, I had a little extra space back here, and I put the things that I wanted to follow up on. So it worked out really well. And in the back, there's an extra little piece that I made a little pocket with. So you can make a little pocket on the back to put receipts or whatever in. So there's that one. I also had made this one earlier. If you wanted to give it to someone as a gift, you could wrap it up with just a little doily, or in this case it's a sunflower cutout that I found, and this is not attached. This is just on there to fancy it up a little bit, and then I wrapped some cord around it and tied it in a bow. But it is otherwise exactly the same as the ones that I'm going to show you how to make. And I would love to give credit to the person who did a video on this, but I have no idea who it was, and I can't find my notes telling me who it was. So I'm going to put these aside, and let's get started. All you need are 2 contrasting or coordinating pieces of 6x6 inch designer paper or patterned paper. I'm going to use these 2 pieces. And what I'm going to do first is pull out my scoring tool. And I want this to be the binding edge. This will be the front of the book. This will be the binding edge and the back of the book. And I'm going to score it at 4.5 inches. Let's set this aside because I'm not using that anymore. And then I'm going to pull out my itty bitty tiny paper cutter, and I'm going to cut off 1.5 inches of the other piece. And basically that is the same as 4.5 inches. It's just on the other one I scored it at 1.5 instead of 4.5, but it's the same size. So you have this 1.5 inch piece left, and I'll show you what we're going to do with that. The first thing I did is I folded it at the score line. Yep, that's the score line. And then I took this piece, this is the 4.5 inch piece, I put some adhesive. I'm using an adhesive today that I got from one of the students in one of my classes, and she didn't like this adhesive, so she gave it to me. So I thought, what the heck, I'll go ahead and use it, and I actually kind of like it. I have no idea what it is. Oh, glue dots. Okay. So what you're going to do is line this 4.5 inch piece up right against that score line, and then you're just going to close this flap. And this is the basic construction of your book. This is the front cover, the back cover, and here's the inside. So what I'm going to do next is take this extra piece and that's got this same design on it. So I am going to just take a little bit of liquid glue, put that all around the edge, just a very thin line all around 3 edges. So that's the top, the bottom, and the edge that goes against the edge of the paper. Put that little pin back in there. And then I'm just going to line that up right at the edge. And there's my little pocket. You can see right here, we now have a little pocket to put, I don't know, whatever you want to put in it, I guess. And now this is the book, the outside edge of the book. The next thing that I'm going to do is, oh, where did I put it? Here it is. I have my bone folder, so I'm going to go ahead and just line that up. Make sure that's even. And I have a little bit of an extra edge here, so I'm going to cut that a little extra edge off too. Which means that I just didn't get it quite exact. Okay, now it's perfect. Perfect! So actually, this is not a Stampin' Up! Tool. This is my Zutter corner chomper, and I'm going to round these edges. This is an optional step, but I think it just looks a little bit more finished if you round those edges on there. Okay, there it is. There's the cover. Now I have some grid paper. I love grid paper, so I had just so many tablets of it. And this particular one I love because it's got straight lines on the other side. So these, I took 3 sheets of grid paper. That's going to give me 6 sheets in my book, which is perfect for just a little notebook to carry around in your purse or your backpack like I carry. And then you're just going to fold that in half, 3 sheets. You can do them individually if you want, but I just put the 3 together since it's so thin. Okay, that is, the paper itself is 8.5 by 11. So what I did is I cut 6 inches down. Well, actually, I cut it off the bottom of the page because it was in a notebook. So this is 6 inches tall, and it's just the 8.5 inches wide that is a normal one. So you'll see when you put it inside of this 4.5 inch book, you're going to have just a little edge on there, a little lip on it, which is kind of nice. You can put little stickies on the edge if you want to mark where you are in there. And then you can bind this in any number of ways. If you want to use needle and thread, you can bind it. This isn't too terribly thick, so you're going to be able to bind it easily with a needle and thread. But what I did, I have this wonderful long arm stapler, which I love, and so what I did is I just flipped it over, held those pages together very carefully, and I stapled it right on that fold. Well, I thought I stapled it. Of course, this is going to be the time my stapler catches. Do you know why? Because I'm on camera. But that's okay. I can fix it. But I think I'll wait. I will be able to fix it, but if you have, and that's the first time it's jammed since I got it, so that's a little annoying. But you kind of get the general idea. If you staple it, you want to staple from the outside to the inside so that the edges of the staples, let's see, let me find one of those samples I just had. So you see here that the edges of the staples are on the inside. If you're gonna, you could use ribbon to bind it and then leave a little bow over here on the side. That would be kind of fun too. But let's go ahead and close this because now you get the idea of what I've done. And I'm going to just give it one more little bone folder crease here. Okay, then all I did was there is a, it's called the Petal Park Builder Punch, I believe. and it is in the Stampin' Up! Current mini catalog. That would be the January through April 2023 catalog. And this is the postage stamp punch, so I'm just going to put this on the front because I like to label my little books so I know what I'm going to use it for. And I just kind of put that here. These are so handy though. You can have a different one for each project or each event that you're doing. And they cost basically nothing to make. I mean, you're using your old paper that you probably have sitting in a box somewhere. I'm going to put a few flowers on it just because I can. Yeah, I think I want that dark side on this one. I'll put this one up here. And then I'm going to put, let's see, I punched a whole bunch of extras out of this paper just so I would have something to play with. I think I'm going to put this one over here on top. Put this here, and then I punched a bunch of little white ones. So I'm going to put that on top of this. And then, let's see, I'm going to take another white one and put that here. And I'm going to put, oh, look, I found a little polka dot one. So I'm going to put that on top of the white one. Fun. And then let's see, I think I'll put one more on there. If I can find another big one. I don't see another big one, so let's try a smaller one. Oh, here's a big one. I like this. So I'm going to put that over here, and then just another little dot of glue, and a little flower. And then I have my bling. These are opal rounds, which I just love. And I'm going to just pick one up and put it in the center of each of these flowers. The meeting that I was in last night, we did a swap, and the theme for the swap was monochromatic. So I thought, well, I'll just pull out this paper, and it was my turn to do a make and take, and we did this as a make and take. So I thought, well, I'll make that monochromatic too. And it worked great. So this is the finished book. We're going to pretend that these pages are stapled in, and you have 6 pages in here to write your little notes, and then a pocket at the end to put little things in. And that's it. How easy was that? Took, oh, let's see, 13 minutes and 17 seconds for this video. So that's how long it's going to take you, basically, barring punching out embellishments and things. I mean, that's how long it takes you to make these. So you can make a ton of them. You can give them to people as gifts. You could sell them. You could do basically whatever you want. By the way, that paper, the little green one that I made, was the leftover paper. After I cut the 6 inches off, there was 5 inches left at the top of the paper, so I just cut that down to 4.5 inches, and it's the same 4.5 inches wide as what we did for this one, and I just made this little smaller mini journal, and look, my stapler worked on that one too. And this also has a little pocket in the back. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I will have the measurements and the written instructions on my blog at kathyscraftroom.blogspot.com. Thank you for watching.